This is a bit of a family affair. You guys are husband and wife, and I know
right.
your son's in the production. How does this all work?
Yeah, so it really began with my wife's parents. They were the ones that started the ministry back in 1971. So the Academy of Arts, our ministry, and then from that it's grown in multiple levels of multifacets of what we have now, of a college and conservatory, film program, a number of different things. So we're very grateful for that.
And I think that's the philosophy that even growing up, we knew that we were included in the ministry. It wasn't mom and dad's ministry and we were over here. We were a part of it and always included in some way, shape, or form behind the scenes, on the stage, and always taught from the beginning that our gifts were given to us by the Lord to be used for Him.
Has C.S. Lewis always been at the heart of the productions you do, or no?
That's interesting. You know, that was actually something that came into our ministry later on. My parents and your parents, I mean, we all knew the books, loved the books, had them read to us, read them when we were young. But it actually entered our ministry for a very strategic reason. People know of it. So we prayerfully decided, if we can do Aslan well and do him respectfully, then we will try our hand at it as a ministry with Narnia.
And here we sit today at the Museum of the Bible talking about the production of Prince Caspian. For those not familiar with the story, what can you tell us about what we will see on stage?
Yeah, so this is kind of the, people love to debate the order of the books, but the second or third, if you will, in the 7-book series. So this is the 4 Pevensey children, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy, and they've had their great adventures in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But now they've come back to England. They're back to being children again. They get sucked back out of the train station. They're about to go off to school, get sucked back into Narnia, and have a great adventure of helping Prince Caspian get back on the throne where he rightfully is the next leader, and I play the evil character. Why I'm dressed like this. We just got done with the show, so I don't normally walk around like this. So I play the evil uncle Miraz, who's trying to get rid of Caspian and keep control of himself. So it's that great struggle before coming back and helping Caspian get back on the throne.
And Nicole, you play?
I play Caspian's nurse, and I wanted the audiences to really connect with Caspian. So we actually start with a young Caspian, and she's very nurturing. She's that one giving him the love of the old things. And then she's taken away from him. And so you feel this loss for Caspian. And hopefully by the time he's riding his horse, a literal puppet that we have, that he's riding away from the castle, you're rooting for Caspian because of the emotional connection we've made through my character and Caspian.
Why do the puppets work? These massive puppets on stage. Why does that work?
That is a good question.
It's an interesting way of asking that. It's very good. It's very good. I think it's the wonder some of Lewis and his imagination. And I think as you come to see a stage production, and even if films, of course, there is that, if a story is written well, you step into it. That's why you find yourself crying, why you find yourself laughing, because you've been drawn into the story in some ways. And so I think when those puppets come out on the stage, and giant theatrical, beautiful puppets come out on stage, I think people have been drawn into the story. And so that is just another step for them of saying, that is a horse up there, that is a bear, that is a tree. And I think that's part of it, why it works.
What's the deeper message of this story?
I sum it up in the one word of sanctification, and really walking by faith. And I think that's so much of our Christian life is, we are flesh and blood. We can only see the physical around us, but yet being able to look at the principles of Scripture, look at what God tells us to do, and move forward many times when it doesn't always make sense. And being willing to trust Him in the hardships. There's a lot of battles in this. There's a lot of fighting and struggle. And that's what our life can be a lot. It's just a lot of battles and fighting and struggle. But yet, Aslan, Christ is working behind the scenes. And I love that in this story. You see it at the end, oh, he was doing that. Oh, he was working there. Oh, he was helping here, and we just didn't see it. And that message is so powerful. I had someone tell me the other day, they said, if anyone has any sensibilities, they will walk out of here overwhelmed with this message. We
want to really also, we're praying that the Spirit of God will breathe on America and wake them up. Wake them up with His Spirit and remind them that He's coming back soon and that we've got to be ready.
if you ever get an opportunity, which I imagine you do from time to time, to just look at the faces of the audience as this thing is unfolding. Describe what that's like for you. What do you see?
I saw a young man the other day in the battle when the bad guys were being destroyed. He lifted up his sword in the middle of the show and said, yes! And they were responding. In the scene when Aslan is there and the other 3 Pevensies can't see him, a little boy down front said, but he's just right there. And that faith where he felt so involved in the story that he said, but he's right there, can't you see him? We all just were, I don't know, I've seen people raising their hand to worship, I've seen them crying. So that ignites our hearts and encourages us, it blesses us, because that's the Lord and His Spirit working